Number 2, we're trying to figure out the derivative first to find our critical values. So we have to use chain rule here. We're going to do the derivative of the exponent part first. So 4 times x squared minus 10x cubed. And then times the derivative of the inside, which is 2x minus 10. All right, we want to figure out when is this 0. So we can set each factor equal to 0. This first factor of 4, that doesn't make any sense to set that equal to 0. There's no variable, so we don't have to worry about that. But x squared minus 10x cubed could equal 0, or 2x minus 10 could equal 0. So for our first one, we can take the cube root of both sides to get x squared minus 10x equals 0. And then we can factor an x out. And we get two possibilities here. Either x is 0 or x equals 10. So we get two critical values there. Over here, with our other equation, add 10 divided by 2, we get x equals 5. So we have three critical values here. So we're going to make our derivative number line, label it with the derivative, and then place our three numbers, or critical values, in order here. So 0, 5, and 10. And I'm going to put 0 above it, because that's what the derivative is equal to. In some cases, we'll see later on, you might have a derivative that's undefined. So you would put a u here to show that the derivative is undefined at that x value. But all of these have a derivative of 0. Now we're going to go ahead and test points in between. So to the left of 0, I'm just going to use -1. Between 0 and 5, I'll use 1, and then 6, and 11. So I'm going to use this form of the derivative right here to figure out if it's positive or negative in these intervals. So for our first part here, if we put -1 in, we know the 4 part, that's always going to be positive. Right here, if we put -1 in, -1 squared is 1, minus 10 times -1, that's going to be 1 plus 10, so that's going to be positive. And then 2 times 1 minus 10, that's going to give us a negative number. So a positive times a negative gives us a negative. If we put 1 in, this is still positive. This part becomes negative. And this one is still negative as well. So positive times a negative is going to give us a positive value. If we put 6 in, 6 squared minus 10 times 6, that's still going to be negative. Here, we're going to get a positive, though, so this is going to be negative. And last one, 11. If we do 11 squared minus 10 times 11, that's going to be positive. 2 times 11 minus 10 is positive, so we get a positive derivative there. So we're trying to find those intervals when it's increasing and decreasing. Well, it's going to be increasing from 0 to 5. And from 10 to infinity. Then it's going to be decreasing, negative infinity to 0, and from 5 to 10.